Namaskara. Welcome to our Wednesday's Let's Talk series. And today I will be in conversation with the Wonder Woman, as I like to call her, Srimati Vaijayanti Kashi. Uh, there is nobody in this dance fraternity who doesn't know Vaijayanti Kashi's name. She's a dancer, Kuchipudi dancer par excellence, and her career spans over an impressive spectrum of performance, choreography, teaching, acting, and organizing dance activities. She has been a banker, and we'll be speaking about that as well. And she is also held the post of Karnataka chairperson of Karnataka Sangeeta Nritya Academy. Ma'am, it is wonderful that you're being a part of this. So, Vaijayanti Kashi, ma'am, thank you so much for being a part of this, part of the new Navapallavas Let's Talk series. We are so glad to have you on our side as one of our strongest supports. You have been there, I think, right at the beginning when the foundation of Navapallava was put. You were there, and you have been such a strong support. What is it? What is it that made you believe in this philosophy?
Shruti, to be very frank, see, I struggled a lot to reach where I am because I still remember way back when I was 33 years. Maya Rao was probably the chairman of Karnataka Sangeeta Nritya Academy. And 33, I felt was such an age. Mm-hmm. And having danced for a state Sangeet Natak Academy, having put in almost 20 years into dance, and very few Kuchipudi dancers. Then.
True.
Okay, even today in Karnataka, or in India, compared to the other forms, we are few good dancers, and I say. So when I approached Maya Didi, I still remember she telling me, "You're still very young." Because those were the day when artists' experience and excellence was considered, experience especially. And you know India's dance philosophy, that they make you legends only after 60 when probably you're not unable to dance.
True.
True. And they make you legends when probably even it's time to say bye. Sorry, being very frank. So I respect the time that those were the days, and it was not that Didi was saying something wrong. That was how the period was then. Okay, and only people like Padma Subramaniam, Chitra Vishweshwaran, Sonal Mansingh, they were seen, and they were repeated in many festivals, but nobody opened their voice. Even Spik Mackey, for that matter, they believed in only excellence. And I won't say that, that youngsters are not excellent. That's not my thought. But there is a rule for every game. If there is no rule, if there is no set thing, I remember Kiran Seth also saying when I had approached him, I was an A-grade artist of the Doordarshan. He's saying, unless we take only awardees. So I waited patiently because we had no choice. And then I decided how important for an artist age is on one side. On the other side, I do respect that every Indian artist, the body dies, but the abhinaya improves. Your passion or the content that you give as a performer with age is totally different. And that goes with India's dancing philosophy. Because even abroad, if you see, they say dance, when the dancers, dance is seen when the dancer's body dies, which means when glamour dies and your soul is dancing, which is very true. We talk of Bala Saraswati and Subbalakshmi even today. Okay. So in one side, these are facts. But on another side, we know that the youngsters are very smart, multitasking. Every blessing has another side to it. Okay, so I think every plus has a minus and every minus has a plus. Yes, the seniors are very deep, devout, very life's experience makes them dance, whereas youngsters do dance with all that glamour, with all that firm nritta, with all that agile. Especially today, the concepts of dance has changed. Then it was rounded, it was sculpturous figure. Today, slim and trim is what dancers are. So whom will we blame it on? Time? Or will we blame it on the government? Or will we blame it on the art scene? You can't blame it on anybody. You have to just flow with times. So since I knew what it was for each day to wait, and I had some people behaving rubbish with me, I said there will be a time when I will give this opportunity to many. See, when in some parts of India, the people were very sometimes dirty also. So, and I was a very strong one. I would not take rubbish because I come from a good family of artists. So I said, is this because you're not experienced that you're not getting an opportunity? Or what is it? I said, okay, fine. I am capable of giving people an opportunity. And much before Navapallava started, I had started that Celebrate Dance. I don't know if many know of it. When I got the Kendra Sangeet and Nritya Academy Award, I said Celebrate Dance series. The first year, I gave only experienced dancers, called them, did workshops, weekend workshops, and a performance and interactive session. The next year, it was all youngsters. The next year, it was a mix. So every year I had a theme, and I still continue to do so. But this is my institution, and I'm a dancer. It's a difference when a dancer does an institution and a person who's non-dancing promotes this idea. Right? This is an open discussion. So when, like Ananya in Bangalore is very famous, but many Kinkani, the organizer, though it was Rangashri, she's not very much in the scene. She became more an organizer. So such festivals, Nitya Nritya, all these festivals did do a lot of seminars, but once a year. And waiting for that once a year, by the time you get an opportunity, you're 10 years older. And 10 years, what? Every year is so important for a dancer or an artist. So I said, let me provide this opportunity. And I believe that every good thought, the cosmic helps. And I was doing it by myself. And when Ashok Jain thought of this and many dancers came together, I said, why not support? Because there's so many young dancers. And if we can make a difference, it's not that one performance is going to make a change in somebody's career. No one performance will make a change, but every perform adds another thought, another, another gives another theme, makes the dancer have a goal. She works for that program and she gets better. So it is with this intention, I thought for a bigger cause, I'm always part of it. And that's what I did.
Great. See, it also, there are so many questions I want to ask you with just this one answer that you have given me. But before I get to all those, I think I need to start right at the beginning.
Okay.
That is, not a lot of people know this, but you are, Kannadigas know, of course, Bangalore people will know, is that you come from a family of such great artists, right? And theater artists. And you're also married to Vijay Kashi sir, and who's also a theater artist. And you started with Bharatanatyam as a child. How did Kuchipudi happen? And what interested you about Kuchipudi that now you have given like so much to it, right? So how did that passion come up?
I started Bharatanatyam at a very tender age because it was the dream of my parents. I never dreamt or wanted to be. I didn't have a serious goal because in those days we just followed what the dreams of our parents was our dream. Never did we question our own self or reflect on what we wanted to be. We just followed life's. At one point, I felt that I didn't like it probably because I was seeing so much of the same thing. That time, one Margam, almost same thing was being done repeatedly. And everywhere, and we didn't even know of other forms. We were quite innocent. To watch another performance was that time a sin.
Oh.
Your gurus would say, I think also because they were trying to establish their name, their form, their style. So they wanted to keep as authentic as possible. So my guru Ramanna, Tumkur Ramanna, who gave me the best foundation, and whatever I am is because of him. He was quite strict, and the age gap was more. Probably I couldn't relate to what he was saying. And I'm a very independent person. Coming from the theater, probably there was an urge for me to be very creative and break boundaries. Not rules, break boundaries, I would say. I've never broken the rule, and I never want to do that. Because it's a thought process of so many gurus and so many generations. So I was waiting for an opportunity to take a break from dance. And as everybody has this studies when they come to college. And also because my master was angry because I saw a Kuchipudi performance, which I didn't know was Kuchipudi then. He said, I told you not to watch and you have broken that rule. So I won't be coming to take classes. He used to come home and teach me.
Wow.
And he stopped. I thought, thank God, I'm relieved. To be honest, because I never wanted to be I never had a plan of a dancing career as yet. I'd seen so many artists in my family. I wanted to do a difference in education. Then I got into theater, and that's why I say once a dancer, a lifetime a dancer. Once if you begin to dance, the discipline that it sets in the body, in the mind, is something you begin to miss only when you leave it. So you see many women in that love or in the college or in that, they discontinue, they come back after a mother. But some are lucky, some are not to make a comeback. So I was doing theater, I got into theater, I worked with a lot of good directors who showed me that creativity which I wanted. And that freedom of speech, freedom of no inhibitions, Theater has no inhibitions. We dancers, classical dancer means nowadays dancers are not like that. Before and all, like this. I was not that type. I was different from my times. I still remember in one of the Abhinaya workshops that I did. See, Kuchipudi is different in the form when it presents its Abhinaya. We are quite realistic, and we are also little, because it was done by men, we are more realistic or less subtle. Sometimes it was too subtle then. Now even Bharatanatyam dancers or other forms are quite bold that way. Okay? Because the concepts were different. So when I had done that, people said, my God, how bold she is. But they failed to know what Kuchipudi was then. At that age, it could have been very discouraging from me. But since I was in theater and I knew what art is, it helped me to choose this form. And I would say Kuchipudi or destiny chose me for Kuchipudi, because at that point of time, I was married. My husband was busy and I had all the time in the world. C.R. Acharyalu came to Bangalore to do a Kuchipudi workshop on Alaya Nrityam. And I got into it. From there, there's no looking back. And you see, also because all my gurus are from Andhra. After Acharya, even he came for 3-4 years and he stopped coming because he was old, he had his own problems. I started going to Andhra. Gurus used to come and stay with me. So every time I was, eagerly waiting for those days. I was working in a bank also. Yes. I was married. Okay. I used to wait. I would go into depression if I didn't get my gurus for at least 15 days in a year. or I don't go there. So it was for me a lot of practice and working on my own self. Nobody to correct me. So people were trying to, and they were not very familiar with Kuchipudi then. And even if they had seen only one form, like the old style and the new style, as I call it, they had not seen the very traditional form of Kuchipudi. People were condemning me, or people were saying, oh, this is something very different. So thanks to these criticisms, which made me go in search of it. In every nook and corner of Andhra, I met almost every legend to understand what it was. And also I found that it was so different in different states. Kerala, it was different. Even today, if you see, the Kerala Kuchipudi is different. Today, it's much better. Awareness, you see, awareness is what makes everything. And the media has helped them so much. And Calcutta, it was different. So I said, I want to know the truth. I'm a Kannadiga. I don't want anybody to point fingers at me. And destiny was with me. As I said, the cosmic works towards you if your goal is right. But the blessed thing in my life is no guru would stand and correct me like Ramana did. Okay? Because they were all old. It was not that they didn't want to show. The generation gap was. But the way they explained to me about the history, about the present, about many great artists is what created an imagination in me. Like, Korada Garu used to tell me so much about Indrani Rahman, Yamini Krishnamurti, and my earlier gurus used to talk of Vaijayanti Mala's Bali's practice. They used to tell me, even if she completed shooting at 9:30 in the night and come home, her rehearsals would start at midnight. The whole house would be filled with rosewater essence to wake up the musicians. And she would practice with musicians. These are the things I heard, which I said, so what if I come from bank at 6 o'clock? So what if I go for a theater rehearsal and come back at 9:30? Let me practice. When they can do so much, why not I? So all these things helped me to be a strong person. And you must have both yogam and yogyata.
Ma'am, you did say something about the old style and the new style. See, even in Mohiniyattam, Banis differ, and it's very unlike Bharatnatyam. In Mohiniyattam, when Banis differ, it is very distinct. Clearly, you can make out one from the other, and these Banis haven't started in one particular time. It's evolved at different times as well. So even in Kuchipudi, this is from what I've heard, is that there is a clash among Banis, and there is the traditional style is not being followed. Or, for example, Vachika Abhinaya, which we all learnt in our junior exam, is used only in Kuchipudi. That is hardly seen any which way now. So what is your take on it? Do you see this as evolving, or do you see it as something threatening to Kuchipudi? What do you feel?
I would call it peer pressure. You see, as I told you, when I did the traditional old style, people told me, ma'am, they were all only exposed to the refined scintillating Kuchipudi as taught by Dr. Padma Bhushan Vempati Chinnasatyam, who's definitely made a beautiful difference to Kuchipudi. But there were gurus who never came to limelight, like PVG Krishna Sharma, Vedantam Parvatisam, who's the great-grandfather of Kuchipudi. That has happened in, as you rightly said, in Odissi, in Mohiniyattam, in Kathak. If you see the old Kathak, people will think what is happening. I still remember once, in Bangalore, there was somebody was doing Mohiniyattam, and the chief guest was Shanta Rao. She was the chief guest. And she said, this is not Mohiniyattam. She loudly said. She was the chief guest. My God, what would have happened to that dancer, I say? And the audience was shocked. She was quite loud. I was one of them to be there. She's not wrong. When she learned, it was so. If we look up our Bharatnatyam, what are the poses of Gauri Amma? What are the poses of the many gurus' photos, if you see? It's not very perfect. It was because they did Abhinayam from their heart. And it was not so much Nritta because the stage was small. So many things have happened in every form. And Kuchipudi was a male-oriented form. It was a Natyamaya technique. So obviously, when the dance transforms into a feminine body, everything is going to change. And it was within the village. And the Vachika was definitely enjoyed only by Teluguites even today. See, I did Parvati Parinayam, an old traditional Yakshaganam in Bangalore. Beautiful choreography. Many dancers came and told me, if this was in Kannada, we would have understood. No, this dance was very beautiful. Dancers. Because the Vachikam was Telugu. So when we want it to become global, I feel some changes are definitely likely to happen. That's why, because I love it, I took the pains of learning Telugu, at least to some extent. I still use it. And some people in the Andhra are happy. Some people feel Yakshagana dialogues are okay, but when it comes to a solo format, is it necessary? But I feel it's necessary because it is the roots. And when it's a distinguishing feature from the other forms, why not retain it? So it's a matter of choice. And some people, like if you go to the Kuchipudi traditional gurus, they will, when I've discussed, I have many interviews, they say, "Ayo, how our Kuchipudi was, now what is it?" They feel so depressed. And many people in the city says, "My God, how can I present Kuchipudi? If I see Kuchipudi how it was before, I can't dance." So its beauty lies in the beholder's eye. And for me, both is beautiful. So take the best.
Yeah, I think whatever is, I think whether it's old tradition or new tradition, it all depends upon the dancer and how the dancer, puts it across to the audience and to
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I use, that's why I got many scripts written in Kannada and even the dialogues, I did Kannada, and also for another reason, that it's my government who's calling me often. I owe something to the mother tongue. I owe something to my land. How many times does Andhra government call me? Because there are enough dancers waiting for opportunities there. I'm not blaming them. So, and if I do something, if it's not understood, see, let's be honest. Many a times the mudras, the many things are not understood by many dancers. Dancers itself. How can we expect people who are not dancers to understand everything? So I think it's fair enough. Don't Bharatanatyam dancers use Telugu padams? Don't we use Swati Tirunal kritis? Those days are gone. Those days are gone. But I would still recommend, if it's a 1-hour performance, you have a brilliant dancer should be interestingly make a repertoire which she shows like Bhama Kalapam, something of Bhama Kalapam, something, a Dharavu from Yakshagana. Maybe a Meera Bhajan if she's going to the north. And if she's in south, she can do a Vachanam. So that way you're justifying your tradition, and that's how I look at it.
Wow. Even though I've known you for so long, it was just, like, I think 2 years back when I saw you in Australia, that you told me you were a banker, or you used to work in a bank, and it was for a really long time, and that was something that nobody knew, or rather, it didn't come in limelight, because that is how much we saw Vaijayanti Kashiji performing, at least in Karnataka, right? When if it was Kuchipudi, it was you. So how did this bank work happen, and what has that experience been like?
See, to be honest, both of us were artists, my husband and me. And people would get scared to give us a house. Rent. Because they would say, they all know that it's a very glamorous profession, films, but there's no security and definiteness. Okay. So luckily, I said everything is destiny. I hadn't studied anything. I just saw a post where they're saying apply for a job in a bank. And I applied and I got it. Okay. So, as I told you, I was not keen that I'll become a dancer, or there was no dreams, right? So I got it. But then because my husband was busy, I came back to dance. And that charm that dance has. See, what I believe that in the initial stages, one wants to be fit, look glamorous, draw attention. Every dancer passes through these phases. Hey, I'm feeling nice. Yeah, I'm looking good. Yeah, so let me dance. It was just like that. And then it takes you down layers and layers and layers. It's your best friend. It's an emotional outlet. It gives you, as Natya Shastra itself says, it gives you everything that you wanted. Through padams, you fall in love with it. Through characters, you understand the psyche of humans. What else? You have fame, you have name, you have health. You can express everything that you want, which you can't otherwise. If I wanted to show my aggressiveness, I did very, characters like Jhansi, rebellious characters I took. So everything that dance gave me, I started seeing the beauty of dance. And the one thing I was very conscious is, all dancers, like I used to see many of them are from Maya Didi's institutes, who are my friends. My God, they're working for 8 hours, and I am married. I go, I come, I cook, and I only have 2 hours. I gave it quality time. It is the quality time. That consciousness, others are doing so much, and if I don't give in my best shot, and I don't have a guru to constantly correct me. So I was so conscious of everything that I did. And some theater contacts helped me. My dancing band contacts helped me. So and then I was an actress too. I did TV serials. I did art movies. So the contacts from various fields, and my grandfather's name. Of course, all names, all contacts works only to a certain extent. Ultimately, it is the talent and your presentations that can help you more. How long will all these pushes and maybe, oh, she's a IAS officer's daughter, so she'll get, we all talk very things like this. But if you yourself are not a good artist, you won't survive in the field for long. That is something which I've truly seen.
So,
I've seen many.
Yeah. Please continue.
Yeah. I would never think that somebody is using her influence and in remaining in the field for long. Never can that happen. But I just definitely want to tell artists that you think you're good, and there are many equally good. Only after several years of consistency of your own practice, of your own innovation, of your own falls and coming up, your body will bring you a good signature. It's when you can do your own signature through your body and create that impact, you remain as a dancer. No number of programs through pulls and will sustain you. Because if you're unable to create the rasa, you won't get back that audience again. If Vaijayantimala Bali at this age dances in Chennai, the hall is packed with all ammas, with all those studs and all dancers just looking at her like this. She had that film glamour then, but if she has retained it, it's only her classism. It's her talent. It's her sincerity which she has shown that she has sustained it. I would think so.
So, like you said, it requires a person's hard work, but it brings me to this very controversial topic, and I think you're the apt person to answer it as well. Is nepotism? You yourself being from a family of artists, right? You have worked very hard, and it is very clear, not only in the way you're speaking right now, but even somebody who's grown up in Bengaluru and seen you, coming up. It's very clear the amount of hard work that you have to put in. Now there is also your daughter Pratiksha Kashi, who's working, whom I have worked with as well, and And yes, at times I feel envious, not because of the fact that she comes from a family like that, but with the fact that she has such a wonderful mentor, right? And she's so independent of, and she knows what lights are, and she has taken her work so seriously. But I'm sure these are the things that you face almost every other time. And that is that, oh, it is, because it is Vaijantika, she's a daughter. And knowing, having worked with Pratiksha personally, is far more than that. But how do you feel about it?
As I said, from the grass is greener on the other side, always. So if you look at it that way, when people say, when she got this Kendra Academy Award, she didn't enjoy it even for a single Bismillah Award. She didn't enjoy it even for a day because there was rubbish on the social media. There was rubbish. And in fact, it went to the extent that people wrote to Prime Minister's office. And in spite of getting the clarification, the same people were gossiping on the media. But I consider that a boon for Pratiksha. Like I told her, she had a beautiful job which gave her a handsome salary. And I never forced her any day to come into dance or exit from dance. I have left it to her always. I told her, see, you're lucky compared to me because I had to do the groundwork. My mother's not an artist. I had to do everything. She didn't know how to help me with a photo also, except that she was my backbone, a support, a moral support. You have everything. You choose what you want. Okay? And when this gossip started, I said, this is the time for you to prove whether it's my influence which has got it or whether it's your talent which has got it. But Shruti, I want to clarify this, that probably I'm the only artist in my generation who, being an artist known as a soloist, has created many young dancers in my field, in my students. Many, name me one celebrity who's created a young dancer. Can you?
Very rare.
Don't just open the books of history. Since it's a frank discussion, I'm saying, Guru Raju, he's known in the circles, yes, being a Kannadiga. He's learned only from me from 15 years. Okay, he's known. I have never ever stopped my dancers from becoming soloists. I make them do group choreography that they get experience. And as you rightly said, since I have been a performer, I educate them right from lighting, criticism, announcements, aesthetics, makeup. I taught all my students how to do makeup because I suffered very severely. So, in fact, I have given my senior students much more intense classes than Pratiksha. What Pratiksha gains here, she stands apart, I have felt is, of course, again, destiny chooses the dancer. It's not the dancer who chooses dance. Destiny chooses the dancer. One is, she started dancing with me right in my wombs because I was hyperactive then. I was a very busy dancer, a guru, everything. So she's absorbed everything. If we believe Abhimanyu did, why not even to this day, this happens? Secondly, she was surrounded only by artists. She has no sister or siblings. I don't have siblings. So all my students were her friends. Whatever she heard was nothing but dance. She interacted like, I had to wait for 30 years to even see Padma Subramaniam. For her, when she was 3 years, she would see artists of high caliber. And during her time, there was a lot of collaboration, which I was not given that opportunity. I never did in a ballet. I only did solo always. My gurus never let me do all that. So I really missed out on all this. She's worked with Odissi Madhvi Mudgalji. She's worked with Aruna Mohanty. She's worked with Sujata Mohapatra. She's worked with Dhananjayans. So she has seen a lot. She's got exposure to so many things, which probably carved her into a better artist. Plus, she has done her engineering. And today's girls are very intelligent. They use their own skills. And today's a day of social media and all
She
this
also won a
computer age.
medal, right, for in engineering. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Sorry?
She
She's
won.
in engineering.
Yeah, she won a medal as well.
Worked for 1 year.
Okay.
Sorry?
She won.
Worked for 1 year.
Okay, she's a gold medalist of something.
She's a gold medalist, yeah, in her engineering.
Yeah.
And also she's gold medal. She got the gold medal in Kuchipudi ME.
Ah, okay.
So, see, of course, as a guru, I have pushed my students. I pushed her also, and I have the liberty to tell her, miss your exams and come to dance, or miss a function and come to dance, or I have the liberty to invest on her. But how many students can I ask them to invest to go to a competition? You know how the field is. How many students have the capacity to record? I can do, if I push 1 or 2, then they'll say again, she's partial to that student. It's a very fine line and very nice for people to comment. And considering what I have seen, how many programs ICCR would only send a few artists? Then did we call it nepotism and all these things? As I said, we never spoke because we respected their talent. And if Pratiksha was not talented, she wouldn't have got repeated programs.
True.
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. Nobody can come up. Our standing example is Abhishek Bachchan. He has Amitabh Bachchan with him. Has he become? I want to question this field. Name a dancer of my age and my caliber who's given so many dancers on the national screen, soloists. I'm proud. I'm proud that being a soloist, I have let my students grow. But you see, I can let them grow, but they must also keep on striving hard. They get married and they sit after 10 years. How will they come up? Guru has dedicated his life for dance. He's really crossed barriers. So I think it's an equal responsibility between a student and the teacher to work on it at the right time. This timing is very important. You miss out, there's so many in the queue who will wait and come in. I'm very keen on, they're very talented students because of age problem, their studies problem, the family problem, the financial problem. They take a break and they come back after 10 years when their body doesn't let them, the situations don't let them. So I would always say that we didn't know what our dreams were. If you know what your dreams are and you want to be a dancer, start from young and continue till old.
So this whole thing, about taking that break. Sometimes what happens, I'm a new mom now. Like I had my second baby, and it's been 2 years of not having performed, but I'm just slowly getting back into it now. But meanwhile,
one thing, Shruti, let me interrupt. It's also not only about performances. I want to tell you this.
That is my next question to you. Having seen your journey all through, at times I felt like you're this superwoman, because you have headed the Karnataka Sangeeta Nritya Academy. You started the unique dance jatre in Bangalore. When you were banking, nobody knew about it because you were performing so much. And you have regularly conducted seminars in Kuchipudi. If we notice, it is always there is some theme that runs, but there are seminars which is research oriented, right? And you're trying to have a very holistic approach towards your dance, right? At the same time, you have also been an active performer. So what advice can you give to I feel a lot of dancers struggle with that aspect. I mean, regardless of married or not married, when this COVID happened, there was this, okay, I'm going to perform virtually, and there was this mass amount of performing that went online, right? But
It's
at
going
the same,
on.
yeah, it's
Going
still
on.
going on. But it sometimes, yes, like if it is something like Navapallava, which is paying you for performing, and it never re-brings another artist. We were the first ones
Yeah.
to pay for virtual performances as well, right? I understand, but largely that is not the thing. And how is it that this holistic idea towards the dance field seems to be lost? So what is the kind of advice you can give dancers on that? I mean,
Yeah.
be
No
just performance
shortcuts.
oriented.
See, as I have studied,
Mm.
everybody, every human in any field has 10 years period, only 10 years, a span. Before it was during the time of Amitabh Bachchan, it was 20 years, or Rajkumar, it was 20 years, Mammootty, or Chiranjeev, or whoever, Vaijayantimala Bali, all these people. 20 to 25 years were their golden era. My era, golden peak, 10 years. Now, probably 4 or 5 years. Because the whole world wants fresh things, new things.
It's moving fast.
Yeah. How would you make anybody need to make a difference? Is probably how I have done it. For me, I never got depressed if I didn't have a performance. I know many celebrities or many young dancers or senior dancers who get very worked up if they don't have performances. Because probably I was always doing theater or banking or dancing or acting. I had many. I would tell the young dancers, within dance, you can write, you can research, you can do, like photography, costume design. Keep dance as your main, as long as your body allows you. And if you know that there are not many takers for your dance, no matter how good you are, be honest with yourself. See, now I can't expect to dance how busy I was when I was in my peak. I must understand and flow with the reality. So I have now the experience, the knowledge, and the maturity to be a good teacher or a choreographer. So this phase of mine is meant for that. And after some time, you're hurt because all your students leave you and go because of life's own challenges. Then you sit back alone and research. You can write books, you can research. So if you're passion for love or you're in love with dance, you'll always find the way. Like when you're in love, sometimes you fight, sometimes you surrender, sometimes you pretend. All the Ashtavida Nayikas as a dancer, you go through. And then you become a Swadhina Patika with your dance. That you have seen everything of dance. And now I'm the Swadhina Patika of Kuchipudi. Because I've seen everything. I've seen gurus, I've seen celebrities, I've seen young dancers. I've been a performer, a choreographer, a guru. I've done many articles. And I know there's nothing as the joy of dancing for yourself. And when you dance for yourself, even if there are 10 eyes watching you with that same passion.
So what has been your most memorable experience in Kuchipudi, if I could ask?
When I was condemned to death in Karnataka because they had no exposure to the original Kuchipudi or the traditional Kuchipudi, I performed. It was the Kendra Sangeet Natak Academy's festival in Hyderabad. Okay. And it was a Kuchipudi performance of all. Shobha Naidu was there, all celebrities. Yamini was there performing in that festival. And Vaijayanti Kashi from Karnataka. Okay, I was shivering there. And my guru was not doing the Natvangam. I never had. Because one part of my gurus is, they can do Natvangam for only their items. If you do an introduction of some new jati, they can't. They're very, too good with their own things. But you see, now we have so many, like Prasanna used to do Natvangam for me. Different people used to do Natvangam for me. And Karnataka singers, they don't know much Telugu, all singing Bharatanatyam. For me, it was a task, I tell you. But then, the creative experience I had with theatre, the confidence that I had developed, the gurus, my listening, and my experience, see, for everybody, Anga Shuddham, Laya, Bhava, if you have. And my body had already had its signature of Kuchipudi because I was practicing so much. I told you I was so aware of time, people giving so many hours. I started with Urvashi Shapa Vimochana, I still remember. That was not being done in Kuchipudi. My gurus were Korada Garu. He was very creative and he was very learned at the same time. So there were all the stalwarts of Kuchipudi and the legends sitting because it's Sangeet Natak Academy's festival. Name them: PVG Krishna Sharma, Nataraj Ramakrishna Garu, Vempati Chinna Satyam, and Korada Narasimha Rao, Chinta Krishnamurti, many. Okay. Okay. But then, and when they heard Vaijayanti Kashi Urvashi Shapa Vimochanam, I heard, because Korada was my guru, he told me this. Most of them said, got up from the first row. But when the song started, okay, let's sit for 5 minutes, they said, and they sat. You won't believe it. They sat through the entire performance. I did Ardhanarishwara, I did Urvashi Shapa Vimochana, I did Navarasa, and I did, I think I did Dashavatar. After that, everybody, big gurus, came into the green room and each one asking me, who's your guru? Where did you get this script? Blessing me. My God. And Vempati Chinna Satyam mentioned in his class, she is a perfect dancer. All his later on, you know, they all became fans of me, and later on they told me after several years that suddenly I started seeing people change with me when I went to Andhra, very friendly. Before they were, okay. So that performance gave me the confidence, and that performance taught me one thing: be so good in your life, in whatever, it may be education, it may be music, it may be dance. Be so good that people will never neglect you. You should become so important that, oh, Kuchipudi, how can we not call her? Okay, of course, I'm saying this is general. Your people who dislike you may avoid you. I'm not talking of such people, but I'm saying when the real Kuchipudi people, like they know, many gurus says, she's the pride of Karnataka. The Kuchipudi guru says, and Ma Kuchipudi Akada, Chala, the one who made it famous in Karnataka is she. It's not in front of me that they say behind me. That's more important. When they say in front of you, you know, it may be, okay. So I believe that make yourself so important that you're not neglected. And that should be only through your work and not anything else.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I have so many more questions to ask you. I think we'll have to wait for another part for that. But thank you so much for being a part of this, and thank you for all the such frank answers and straightforward answers. And I think that shows the comfort space that you are in, and how strongly you stand by your own principles. It's wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much, and hope to see.
How are you otherwise? How was your dancing? Did anything of what I said happen in your life?
Yes, I think it keeps happening because I also, like you, do not have a family support as such. You know, I don't come from a background like that. My father, in fact, was very against dancing, because in his mind, when you take that generation and people coming
Yeah.
from Kerala, the concept of dance was completely different. And the Indian classical dance is not something the common man was very aware of, right? And my father was very against me doing anything on a stage or doing any kind of performances. So when I was 18, is when I joined Bharatanatyam classes, because I had the courage to do that behind my father's back. And around when I was just in my degree, is when I started Mohiniyattam classes under Guru Sri Devi Unni, because now I was also doing part-time job. So that means I had extra money with which I can pay her fees. So these were the things in mind, and came the hard way. I am where I am now, and I hope, like you said, I think consistency, not only in practice but continuously giving to the dance world, is so
Yeah, your
important.
thought process is very important.
Yeah,
It's not about physically always exhausting yourself.
yeah.
It's also thinking. One should be a thinking dancer.
Mm,
And I'll tell you, no point wasting your time
mm,
thinking of others' success.
yeah,
Everybody has their own share of hardships
yeah.
and their own journey. Your journey is different. Each one's journey is different. And believe me, there's one which I always say is God is the most fair because he gives something very good to some. At the same time, he takes away something from some.
Mm,
Okay. So when you see it all, you are blessed with something. At the same time, you're not blessed with some things. So if you understand what you are blessed with and continue to do it rather than thinking what I have lost, you make the best of it. He's the fairest. And if you look back, everybody's life is here. And finally, see, I always give this example. Oh, people see my farm, my theater. Wow, she's so lucky. But how much time I have to spend to keep it lucky, to make it look good. Otherwise, anything can look so shabby, even a small room.
yeah.
Or you plant a seed, you have to water it, wait for it to flower.
Mm,
The time, the energy, the emotion you have to give to it. So this is where you lose out something. You're losing out on time, but you're seeing the plant grow.
mm,
Everything in life is so.
mm.
What there's a plus, there will obviously be a minus.
Yes.
Find out what is your plus and just work towards it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for your blessings. Bye, ma'am. See you. I think with each of these great artists who have spent all their life, so much they have given to the world of dance, they've literally built it with their time and their life, for us to relish, for us to thrive in it as artists, as audience. So, this is a big salute to all the dancers, all the great gurus that we have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the foundation that you are, so that we have a better future in it as artists, so that we as an audience have some kind of intellectual entertainment as well. Thank you. Uh, to our audience, we'll see you again next Wednesday with a exponent of a different field and somebody who again open our minds, awaken our souls. Till then, also please remember that we have our solo performances on this weekend on Sunday at the Navapallava Facebook page. Like, subscribe us on all channels. We are there on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Support us. Artists can get in touch with us through our email. See you soon. Thank you so much.